I have a question for you. Where do you turn to when you feel alone and uncertain? I'm Renee from Youversion, and our verse of the day is Nahum 1:7. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in him. The Lord is good. For context, when this verse was written, it was in a period of Israel's history where for almost 100 years they had been persecuted and oppressed by the nation of Assyria, the most powerful and brutal nation at that time. For 100 years they endured social and economic and political unrest and uncertainty. Their future was unknown, as was their present, and their past was laced with grief. And in the midst of that, God remained silent. And then onto the scene comes Nahum with a prophetic word of hope and encouragement to the nation of Israel. A word that said, God hasn't forgotten you, and he will bring justice to your enemies. But what's more than that, he is a good God who knows those who run to him. He is a place of safety and security to all who come to him. This is a word of hope even to us today, because the same God that rescued the nation of Israel is the same God who sent his one and only Son to take on human form, becoming fully God and fully man, experiencing our suffering and our weaknesses, crying out, my God, why have you forsaken me? In the greatest act of all time, he took our suffering and sin onto himself so that we could freely run to the God who knows us and loves us and promises to protect us. No matter what your situation is, and I don't know it, but God does. And God is greater than your circumstances.